What is up, guys? Rick Hackus here, and this is the guide to the level 35 Prison of Elders, or Skolas' Revenge. Now, to quote Jeremy Clarkson, it was the easiest thing I've ever done. Honestly, the 35 to me was much easier than even the 34, and hopefully, after you guys watch this video, you'll be in the same boat. So let's get started. The first round, you're just encountering Hive, and there's no objective. It's really a dawdle, and you just hold out where you've been holding out pretty much every time for Hive, and just kill them as they come. Again, there's no objective, so there's really no need to worry. Now, the very next wave is going to be Vex, and the objective is going to be to destroy mines, not disarm them. This is much easier, as all you have to do is shoot the mines, they explode, rather than getting out of cover and going to defuse them. Now, you'll see in the back where we go to hold out is a pretty good spot, and also from the spot you can reach each one of the mines. Now, some do take a little bit of a jump to the side maybe to shoot, especially with a rocket launcher, which takes them down extremely fast, but be aware that this does leave you exposed, especially for hobgoblins. Hobgoblins are going to be your number one concern in this round. You really need to be careful, and you really need to be sure that you don't expose yourself too much. Also, make sure that if one person is jumping out sideways to maybe shoot one of the mines, or the other two are not. You do not want all three of you downed, because, you know, the hobgoblins are in the phase clan and they all snipe you out of the air. That is not good. So just be cautious, stay a little bit back and hidden, and maybe if you're going to know you're going to go out and expose yourself, throw a grenade first. Trigger all of the hobgoblins to go down to their protective shells where they're not shooting you. Go out of cover, collect ammo, or do whatever you need to do, and then go back into cover. Now, the modifiers for this round are pretty contradictory: grounded and airborne. Grounded making you take more damage if you're in the air, and airborne making you do more damage if you're in the air. Try to avoid jumping in the air, though. Again, you may have to try to get one of the mines, especially the one at the back of the map, but the hobgoblins will absolutely destroy you, especially with the increased damage while you're in the air. You need to be aware of this. Keeping those tips in mind, this wave should also be kind of a dawdle. Again, just destroying mines is so much easier than defusing them. Now, the next round is going to be the Cabal with the Arc Burn modifier. This is probably one of the most favorable enemy types to have Arc Burn on, as the only form of arc damage that you will incur is the Scion melee. The objective is also probably the most difficult one, with defusing the mines. This round, as in any other round with defusing the mines, an invisible hunter is obviously very useful. It should be noted, though, that sometimes invisibility just doesn't work. You'll see right now, I'm invisible and this Scion just decides to kill me. It's no one's fault except for Bungie's, so sometimes when your hunter is yelling that it wasn't my fault, it really wasn't his fault, so just be aware of this fact. But even without a hunter, since the mines are relatively close together, a Titan can put a bubble in the middle for one of the two mines that spawn on the same structure, and usually you can hold out in the bubble for the first one and then use the hopefully blessing of light from the bubble to go and get the second one no problem as well. This is not going to be the round you're also going to be wanting to hold back on rocket launchers. You should be using your rocket launchers pretty liberally to keep the Cabal off you and help defuse those mines, especially if you do not have a Blade Dancer hunter. Now, you also have the catapult multiplier, so remember that your grenades are going to be recharging a lot faster, and it does help if you're using a class with arc grenades. Lastly, I just want to reiterate that it's very important to prioritize the Scions. If you see a Scion, you have to kill it, and that's because, again, their melee is going to be the only form of arc damage, and it can insta-kill you, so it's very important to take down those Scions before they take you down. Now, the next round is going to be against the Fallen, and the modifiers are Specialist, allowing your special weapon to do more damage, and Juggler, so you do not drop ammunition for the weapon you are currently using. This works out great, actually. Because of Juggler, you want to be, using your secondary weapon in order to get ammo for your primary weapon, and your secondary weapon is going to be doing substantially more damage because of Specialist. So, something like a shotgun, I was rocking the Found Verdict, and it was phenomenal in this round. Now, you'll see we go up to this kind of top platform to hold out. That's where you're going to want to go out to too. That is like the number one spot to hold out on the Fallen rounds. Now things are still going to come up to get you, but again, because you have Specialist on, you can switch to a shotgun and take them out relatively easily. A Defender Titan with the Helm of Saint 14 is also very, very useful up in this platform, as if you get rushed, he can pop his bubble, and pretty much every guy that's coming up to rush you is one of the fallen melee characters that will try to hit you, and so they'll just go into the bubble, enact the Helm of Saint 14 blindness, and walk around completely useless while you shotgun them. It's really fantastic. Now the critical objective for this round is an easy one. It's killing the VIP. Now he's going to spawn on the opposite side of the map, and it's going to be a Reaver Captain. Now make sure you don't just shoot any Reaver Captain. Make sure you see the actual objective thing above his head. Now you can jump up and rocket him and sniper rifle him pretty easily, especially from your elevated position. And it doesn't hurt that he literally takes the long way to get to objectives. So again, this round is kind of a dawdle, especially if you have a very powerful seeking rocket launcher like the Gjallarhorn, like the Word of Crota. You will take him down pretty easily. It should be noted on the second wave of the critical objectives, you might be a little confused because the VIP doesn't spawn for kind of a long time sometimes. But no worries, just wait around for a couple of minutes longer than you think you should, and then he will spawn as normal. Now for the next round, you're going to go back and fight the Fallen again. This time you're going to have to fight the Fallen boss. Now the modifiers for this round are Trickle, so your abilities recharge a lot slower, and also Small Arms, so your primary weapon does more damage. Now this round is again kind of a dawdle. You go up to where you were holding out before, but this time there's even no urgencies for VIP targets. You simply shoot the giant servitor when you can, and aside from potentially taking a long time, this round really isn't that difficult. Again, shoot the servitor when you can. If you have something like, you'll see my 365 Fatebringer does quite a bit of damage, especially with the small arms modifier, but make sure to prioritize the adds when you're getting overwhelmed or when they're rushing up and trying to melee you, especially with captains and vandals. And so having a Titan, again, a Titan with Defender and the Helm of Saint 14 is very good in this round, as in any Fallen round. When you get rushed, you can pop the bubble and pretty much disable all of the enemies that are trying to attack you. Now quite a few Gjallarhorn shots later, you will have hopefully completed this round. Now that's 5 out of 5 rounds done, but there's a special 6th round where you actually fight Skolas. Now you can kill this big bad boss in under 40 seconds using the method I'm about to show you. So let's get started. Now the solo burn really helps into this, and you do need a couple of Gjallarhorns. I think that you could actually get away with having one player not have a Gjallarhorn, but you want to have as many fully upgraded 365 attack Gjallarhorns as you can. Now here's the method you need to do. You simply run into the arena and go up to where you've been holding out every other time on the elevated platform. Now on your way to the elevated platform, there will be a transparent servitor that you must kill. Shortly after killing this, get one of the Defender Titans to pop his bubble. A bubble is required for this section because without it, Skolas will destroy your entire team very quickly with his Scorch Cannon because it is solar burn. From there, you simply let her rip. You shoot Gjallarhorns after Gjallarhorns, just taking down Skolas as quickly as possible. Then when you're out of ammunition, you go into your inventory and use a heavy ammo synth. That's going to recharge all your ammo, and then you just keep shooting him. Now what this is going to do is simply having, for this gameplay we had all 3 players with Gjallarhorns. Being able to shoot all of those Gjallarhorns, synth up and shoot again is going to kill him so fast that you're then going to be able to do the objectives that come afterwards at your own leisure with no enemies respawning. So after you kill him, there's going to be 2 rounds of defuse the mines objectives pop up. Again, you can do this extremely easily because there's going to be no enemies that spawn. Now we were running Weapons of Light in this video, but there's kind of a debate going on whether or not Weapons of Light is required. Because of the Gjallarhorn being proximity detonation and its Wolfpack rounds aren't affected by Weapons of Light, people say you don't need it, but I like Weapons of Light because if something goes wrong or you run out of Gjallarhorn rounds and he's still alive, I want Weapons of Light to be able to finish him off maybe with my primary or secondary Black Hammer, for example. Now again, I think you can get away with having one of your fire team members not have a Gjallarhorn. If he has a very, very powerful solar weapon, if he's very good with a black hammer and he's just constantly sniping Skolas, or if he has maybe the hunger of Crota and he's doing basically the same thing, constantly putting damage on him, I think you might be able to get away with it, simply because we killed Skolas this round and I still had some Gjallarhorns in reserve. Now, unfortunately, if you wipe on this part, you will have to play the waiting game. That's because you do need to have full heavy ammo and a heavy ammo synth ready to go. So, if you expend your heavy ammo on him, he kills you somehow and you wipe, you will have to use a heavy ammo to get back up, topped up in heavy ammo, and then just wait around until that's recharged in order to be able to use your next synth in the actual battle. But honestly, this part really isn't too difficult. Again, we killed him with time and rockets to spare. After killing Skolas and disarming the 2 waves of mines, you are free to loot the treasure. Now, it's very important that you have a treasure key with you. That's because when you're on 35 for the first time on the first character on 35, you do get some special loot if you use the treasure key on the main treasure chest. You will get an emblem and a pretty amazing looking ship. So make sure you have 1 emblem slot available and 1 ship slot available just so they can easily go into there and there's no cryptarch shenanigans. I mean, I got screwed out of my Trials of Osiris flawless emblem because I had full emblems, so just make sure that doesn't happen to you. And also, make sure you have a bounty slot available. This is because once you kill Skolas, it does have a chance to drop the exotic bounty that doing this bounty will award you with one of the 3 new exotics. So you don't want that to screw up either and you have full bounties because you decide to have, 6 patrol missions on the Cosmodrome. To delete that one and make sure you have 1 slot available in case this exotic bounty drops. Now that's it for the video. I really hope it helps you guys get through the level 35 Prison of Elders as easily as I did. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe if you did. It really helps me out if you enjoyed this content. And as always, have a good day.